Yeah, this news out of Pennsylvania is just totally crazy, but it is part of a long pattern that we've seen developing for years. So the Pennsylvania Department of Education has this page. It's unbelievable. It's a website that they've put up. It's on the official Department of Education website called Creating Gender Inclusive Schools and Classrooms. You can see a little bit of that on the screen right there. They define all these words that you should know. And of course, this is aimed at teachers and educators. It talks about the wonders of gender diversity. And yeah, so here's some of the words that would be helpful for you to know, folks. Like a binary gender, the website says, is actually a faulty concept indicating that there are only two genders, male and female. Of course, anybody who is a biologist would be able to tell you that, yeah, there's actually just male and female. In fact, every cell in your body confirms the fact that there is only male and female. You could either have XX chromosomes or XY chromosomes. That's just how biology works. Sorry, Pennsylvania Department of Education. They also have assigned gender defined, and they define that as a gender a baby is given upon birth. And again, this is absolute madness. Of course, babies are not given a gender upon birth, right? Babies are given a gender upon conception by their creator, not by the doctor who delivers that baby. And again, this is established at conception when that child's unique DNA is created. Pretty amazing, folks. There's also some really bizarre advice on this thing. They tell the teachers that, and I'm quoting here directly from the document, in addition to the traditional pronouns, he, him, she, her, they, some people prefer to use gender-neutral pronouns such as they, they, ze, and xi. Yes, I am not kidding you, folks. This is what they're telling the teachers in Pennsylvania, which incidentally has a Republican legislature. This is all under the preferred personal pronoun segment. And then they say, this is great, if you don't know a student's preferred pronoun, it's always best to ask, folks. Yeah, it's always best to ask. And this is the same madness they've been peddling to teachers for a long time, folks. A couple years ago, some teachers sent us a video from the National Education the National Education Association, one of the worst organizations in the world. Actually, it was referred to as a terrorist organization by the former U.S. Department of Education Secretary. True story. And I want to show you guys this video because, again, this is not new. It has become ubiquitous. And in this video, created by the NEA in partnership with the Human Rights Campaign, a vicious, radical left-wing hate group that is trying to have the federal government force churches and mosques and synagogues to bow to this. You see these two little kids, a kid who calls itself Emma and another kid who calls itself Z. And I want to show you guys this clip because this is what they were showing teachers. Again, the NEA represents or purports to represent over 3 million teachers in this country. And this is what they put out to their teachers. Check this out.
Hi, your name is Emma?
Yeah.
Correct? And my name is Zim. What pronouns do you use?
I use she, they, them.
Cool.
What pronouns do you use?
I use they, them, and also just Z. And so instead of being a boy or girl or something undefined or in the middle, I kind of like, just use my name. You know, my name is Zim. So if you just use Z instead of a pronoun, it's like more personalized and like less fitting into a binary.
Okay, so yeah, my pronouns are Z and tree and free and really, folks. And now watch how ubiquitous this is, okay? At least according to the children. Listen to this.
What makes a teacher nice?
For me, it's when they ask me my pronoun and when they support me and when they call me as equal as everyone else.
You said it's cool when teachers ask pronouns? That was never a thing when I was like in elementary school or even middle school. Did you find that you had to like ask for that or like even educate your teachers?
Well, when I had a substitute, sometimes I had to educate. Like one time when the substitute called me a boy. I even had some friends stick up for me. They were like, she's a girl.
And it was kind of weird, you know, when we have to educate the folks who are supposed to educate us, that's kind of a struggle and kind of a hassle.
So there you go. There you go, right? All the teachers know that you need to ask pronouns, except sometimes a substitute. Then, they had to be educated about this. Folks, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Back to the Pennsylvania Department of Education website, they actually say these definitions were lifted right from the gender spectrum, set of ramblings by a transgender activist, a fringe ideologue called Carrie Kilman. And these were actually published by the Soviet Poverty Law Center, or sorry, what's it called? The Southern Poverty Law Center, the fringe left-wing hate group that put out its hate propaganda that ended up being used by convicted terrorist Floyd Corkins, I think his name was, or Perkins or something, to target and try to massacre all the employees at the Family Research Council. This is the same Soviet Poverty Law Center that says a Muslim is one of the leading anti-Muslim activists in the world, says a Cherokee Indian married to a direct descendant of Sacagawea is the leader of the anti-Indian movement, says Dr. Carol Swain, a black law professor at some of our Ivy League universities, is a white supremacist, or is providing cover for white supremacy. Yeah, that Soviet Poverty Law Center, the same one whose founder, Morris Dees, of course, was exposed in court documents having abused his stepdaughter. And of course, it's the same organization that was exposed by its own employees for being racist, sexist, etc. Yet those freaks are the ones that are teaching your children about gender identity. And folks, it's absolutely insane what they're doing. They have these lesson guides on there that teachers can host a gender-neutral day for children ages 6 and up. And they say that, and they actually defended this, believe it or not. They got called out, and they said that this is from the Pennsylvania Department of Education. The children who attend our schools represent the diverse backgrounds and cultures of our Commonwealth, and that includes Pennsylvanians with various gender identities and expression. If they can make you believe that there are no women, that there are no men, that means there are no mothers, there are no fathers. And if there are no mothers and there are no fathers, how dare you talk about a heteronormative, patriarchal view of family? Okay, that's ultimately the goal, because the Marxists want to replace family and God and church and every other institution with government, or godverment. Of course, Marx was strongly influenced by Hegel. Folks, this is unbelievably dangerous. We've talked before about how effective this is, right? In California, the UCLA did a study. They found that 27% of California children ages 12 to 17 were gender nonconforming. We showed you the data out of Utah. Check out this graph. We showed you the data out of Utah showing that there had been a 10,000% increase in the number of underage girls going through gender transitions, right? The doctors are prescribing them testosterones and puberty blockers and things. Folks, this is madness. This is child abuse. It must stop. It's insane. Your taxes are paying for it, and nobody's going to protect your children except you.